I'm so glad that this is the last of the Fox X-Men movies, because this movie was trash. What's really good, people? It's your boy Sharp back again with another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Dark Phoenix movie. I saw this over the weekend. I have a lot to say about it, but because it's just come out, I'm going to give my spoiler-free review. No spoilers. If you haven't seen it, don't worry. Go watch it, come back, and then see if you agree with me. There's not really a lot I can say about this movie without spoiling it. I'm going to have to warn you, I am going to be shitting on this movie just a little bit. Is it a spoiler if I tell you that I think the movie's shit? It's kind of spoiling something, I guess. But it's not major plot points, so let's get straight into it. Now, I could talk all day about what I didn't like about this movie, so firstly, we're going to start off, as usual, with what I did enjoy. Now, this movie was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Let me say that first and foremost. But that doesn't mean that it was good. I was expecting to walk out of the theatre and be completely angry and upset. But to its credit, there are a few good moments. So what I liked about this movie was the acting. The acting wasn't terrible. There were some actors that I felt like were just phoning it in, trying to get that check. Jennifer Lawrence, definitely one of them. I love Jennifer Lawrence as an actress, but she is done with the X-Men franchise. You can tell. She had one good moment in this movie. There's a little speech that she does at the very beginning, which some people may not like. I thought, do you know what? That's actually a good point. But apart from that, it was so weird to see her on screen when she clearly didn't want to be there. Already diverged and started shitting on the movie. I was supposed to talk about the good actors. So, James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, still great as Magneto, and Charles Xavier. Charles Xavier is probably the only character in this movie that has any sort of character development, and you get to see a different side of him, a side that was very intriguing to see, but they only touched on. It's a side of him that makes perfect sense for his character. Even though Magneto wasn't given that much to do and it was kind of shoehorned into the movie, Michael Fassbender is Magneto through and through, 100%, and I love seeing him on screen. There was some cool action set pieces. The last scene, which I believe were reshoots, and you can definitely tell that there's something different going on, because the first two acts of the movie are completely different than the last act, and it was actually quite interesting to watch. The fighting, the choreography, the CGI, visual effects were all quite good, and it was annoying because it was like, why is this the end of a mediocre movie? The actual end of the movie, the end of that great set piece that you see with the train and the trailers, trash. But I enjoyed the train part. Jessica Chastain's character, her whole storyline and her motivations completely baffle me. To me, she didn't even really need to be in this movie. Now that I've got that out of the way, what I did not like about this movie, the first thing that I would say that pissed me off about this movie is the fact that you've seen from the trailers, they are going off the assumption that you have forgotten about X-Men Apocalypse, in which she does use the Phoenix Force to defeat Apocalypse. She does do that. Let me run the clip.
Let's go!
And now, for some strange reason, she doesn't actually have the Phoenix Force, but she absorbs it in a mission in space. That's the first thing that confused me about this movie. This isn't a reboot, it's a sequel. It doesn't make sense. Other than that, the movie has no plot. There is no story to this movie. X-Men: The Last Stand. A cure for mutants is found, and Magneto amasses an army in order to destroy the cure and stop the humans once and for all. Those are stories. Those are plot points. Those are things that happen with purpose. This movie was Jean Grey struggling to control an invasive force, and that was it. It was the characters following Jean from point A to point B destruction, fighting happens. It happens repeatedly, and it was very apparent that this story had no direction. It had no purpose. There was no end point to it. It was literally just events, 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 and that is it. There was no character development. None of the characters really got a shine, apart from Sophie Turner, who, to her credit, probably did as best that she could with what she was given. I don't know, guys. I've heard a lot of people say it, and I have to agree. X-Men 3, X-Men The Last Stand, one of the worst X-Men movies, arguably, is still better than Dark Phoenix. The pacing was all over the place. There were so many plot conveniences in this movie. Ugh. I'm going to rate this movie a 3 out of 10. I'm probably not going to watch it again. And I'm not even going to do a spoiler video on it because I don't think it deserves more of my time and effort. I really don't. So let me know what you thought of the movie down in the comment section below. Smash the like button if you enjoyed this review. Have those post notifications on. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as usual, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Taylor about the fucking flex.